Squeeze Gang, you already know the vibes, man. Back again. We got King Von, Lil Durk, the fall of the evil twins. That's right. Like the video, leave a comment, click the links in the description. Drop the comment what y'all want to see next. We see everything in the comments. We get into it. Just bear with us. I want to do certain stuff I want to do with the gang. I don't want to do by myself. Like certain things like these, I want to do this with the gang. I don't want to do these dolo. You feel me? Let's get into it.
King Von, K-I-N-G. Maybe you want to sign King Von?
Cause he got a whole story behind him. You know what I'm saying? He just real, just boom. You know what I'm saying? It's my brother. Twin.
Friday, detectives from Atlanta and Chicago testified in the criminal case against rapper Lil Durk in Fulton County Court. They say around 5 in the morning on February 5th, Lil Durk, whose real name is Dirk Derek Banks, and his co-defendant Devontae Bennett were seen on camera involved in shooting Alexander Witherspoon.
Man, I ran out on my knees when it all came down.
He said his chain was snatched off his neck, and he had $30,000 stolen from him, and they stole the vehicle he was driving.
Police say Banks was seen on tape shooting a gun.
You see Mr. Banks, arm out the window, firing several shots.
Oh, they saying Durk was the shooter? Durk was the Uda? Chill. I ain't know Durk was. I thought Vaughn was the Uda, because they were trying to say he praised it on Vaughn.
Nah, he ain't do that.
He ain't do that.
Oh, word. So my son Durk was the Uda. Chill, Durk. And they booked him? They took his whip and his brother. Come on, man. Niggas getting too much money for that, man.
Fuck it.
Fuck it. Take the whip.
Yeah, fuck it.
Probably told the homies, like, take that shit, man. Fuck him.
Yeah.
Fuck him. Boom, boom.
There's another thing that came out recently. Von, that little, when he just got booked, they was questioning him. That was the son in O-Block. The boys ran down. He threw his key to his man's. His man's skirted off with his jacket and everything in the car. Skirted off on the boys.
Oh, he had a stick in it?
Yeah.
Squeeze.
Yeah.
Smirk.
I want to shout out everybody that was on my dog one coming out on somebody.
Trill shit.
Yeah, facts though.
Trill shit.
Hey, yo, squad, what's the drill?
Damn.
Back with another video, man. Two of Chicago's most popular artists used to consider themselves twins, and they had a real big reputation in the streets. King Von and Lil Durk, unlike other rappers, lived their raps, and with that came some trouble that got them a case that almost put their freedom on hold. 3 years later, the unthinkable happened. Durk walked free, but how did detectives have them on camera and fumble the case? But did Von take the fall so the voice could return to the streets? There's 3 possible theories, and even more if you thought hard enough. So, I'm gonna expose 3 of them and get y'all to do the rest. Without further ado, let's skip the play and get down to business. If you're anybody that's anybody, most likely you hip to Durk and King Von. Both of them have a history of being active in the streets and
nah, that mirror was terrible.
That don't even look like Durk.
That don't even look like Durk.
Durk?
That look like Perkio right there.
That look like Gunner.
You said that like who?
That look like Gunner.
He said that
well
like
known
Sergio.
throughout Chicago. Both black disciples, and both of them were at the front of the feud that's in Chicago. But the streets is a dark place, and the name of the game is making it out. That proved easier said than done for the two. The ops was on their head, but being shooters themselves allegedly, with other alleged shooters in their camp, they could go tit for tat. But the problem was the law. They couldn't shoot it out with the boys in blue. All you could do is try to move in silence and make sure you got the bank for that lawyer fee if they catch you lacking. For sure, as time went on, King Von and Durk couldn't avoid catching cases forever. And when I tell you these dudes was outside, they was outside. Von and Durk had racked up so many charges, their mother...
Yeah, so they was getting booked.
That boy bold.
Word.
My son had to spoil it. He was in boot camp right there. He had to been and go to boot camp or something. I'm trying to get 6 months. I'm trying to get the fuck out of here. Yeah, I'm trying to get the fuck out. Stay downstate. Yeah, it's probably the downstate baldy. My son got mad mother. He look crazy right here.
That's the last one.
Young Schmirk, look at him.
He's smiling in that one right there.
Which one?
This one right here.
Yeah, he had the money there. He like, I'm there, nigga. said, I'm good. Nigga, that's the nigga I know I'm getting out.
That's when they I think that's the one when they ran down his crib for Zoo. Zoo got locked up for the body, and then they found them guns. So that's why he got locked up too.
That nigga was smiling.
I'll be it out, nigga.
That's the only thing he was smiling at.
From youngins to adults.
What?
They got him looking.
Von got that at him. He was like L.A. Capone right there.
Fact.
Nigga said that's his last one too.
Nigga like, look at his
Nigga
right
got
hand.
the Dragon Ball Z shits right
my
here.
son. This little nigga was ugly though.
Look like he got the wicks.
This nigga was bad. He was a badass little kid, bro.
50 mug shots.
That's
Nah,
50?
yeah, nah, it ain't 50, but you know what he mean, nigga.
Let me see. Is that 6? So,
I was going deeper into the darkness, but Durk found a way out to help him from the path they were on. That became music. Coming up with Chief Keef and them, he was a part of the era that is arguably started the drill culture and hip hop.
That nigga was getting locked up. Every time he came outside, that nigga was getting locked up, nigga.
Mug shot me, he getting fingerprinted.
Gangsta. Niggas there every day. That nigga like,
You know that? What about you? Right.
So we call it drill music.
Drill music. Okay, cool.
Like how you all hyped up and just ready to go crazy. And I'm glad we created that type of style though. I ain't trying to copy off nobody or be like nobody in the past.
It took some grinding, but Durk went from a savage in the streets to the voice of the streets, building up a hefty catalog of bangers. When one makes it out, both make it out. Durk remained true to that code and made sure to use his buzz to help put Von on. From interviews to shows, Durk always tried to put Von in the spotlight.
King Bob. King Bob. King Bob.
Alright, man, yo, Durk, introduce this guy right here. I don't know who he is.
King Bob. I'm saying one of the hottest, the hottest in Chicago. Yeah, because you know it's like I started shit off with him. Like he started up with me and everything. Like people get to noticing me shit out there. He bringing me to his interviews and pulling up the chair right here and letting me sit right there.
Just like that, they both was trying to take over the music industry with bangers like Crazy Story Remix and taking over stages performing their music together. They was really like twins.
that's real though. Niggas still be doing that though for niggas. Niggas still come pull up, play their music at their concert. That's real nigga shit. You feel me? They got out them, but they don't be together now, but that's still real.
Yeah, he's
Play
play
a song once in the blue, play a shit, and play one of this nigga's songs. This shit turned up anyway.
We play that every time.
Yeah, that shit turned up anyway.
Von took the torch and took off running, building a buzz in the rap game with his tactical storytelling and raw bars seen in the projects like Grandson Volume 1. From the look of things, him and Durk was about to run the rap game, but that sprung the cops' trap card. In 2019, the cops slid, jeopardizing their career and worse yet, their freedom. The twins was out vibing on February 5th of that year, while at the Varsity restaurant in Atlanta, they got into it with an op, and let's just say it didn't go well for that person. Durk and Von allegedly left the scene unscathed while homie was in a pool of blood. News reports would begin to provide information in the public on what allegedly happened. It was stated by a female eyewitness that she was outside a cigar bar at around 5 a.m. talking to Banks, aka Durk, and Von when they saw a fight in the car in front of them. She then saw Durk up the pole and shots were heard going off.
I spoke to a witness who was there at the scene when the incident took place.
Demon time. My son is a rapper up. My son is up in the game. He was up in the game 2020, right? 2019. Durk was up. He wasn't up like he up now, but he was up. That nigga up that 5. Up that 5, that nigga
They
ass.
said that someone back to Chicago and died.
Who?
The nigga that Durk supposedly shot.
Oh, so the nigga's dead.
Yeah.
Oh, word? He's dead now?
He said he went back to Chicago.
Oh, he's a Chicago nigga.
Oh yeah, he from Chicago.
Oh, word? So they hit a nigga from Chicago in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hey, so don't think y'all niggas move around all safe everywhere. You think y'all can't get hits there.
Then he went back to the motherland.
They got smoked out there.
Bye.
Fool, I never even do that. See, I don't be keeping up with that shit.
Churchill said the witness told him she was standing outside talking to Banks and Bennett in front of a cigar bar around 5 in the morning, February 5th, when they saw a fight in the car in front of them.
Mr. Banks pulled out a weapon
The scene turned into a mass panic, and everybody was dipping and fleeing for their life while the evil twins allegedly was airing it out.
Witnesses tell me bullets flew through the air and whipped past their heads here on Spring Street Tuesday morning.
The bullets got to coming through, and I crawled through the club.
People who were inside the One Cigar Bar and Lounge got down and just waited for the gunfire to finally stop.
Witnesses had the scene sounding like Von and Durk were shaking down the whole block with the choppers. At the end of the gunfire, reports state that the witnesses went around the building to see a man lying in a pool of blood. The person was found to be Alexander Witherspoon. The race to save his life was on as he was rushed to the nearest hospital with a gunshot wound to the leg in a serious condition.
And rushed to the nearest hospital in serious...
He legged him? Fuck out of here, Durk. I was just jogging this nigga. I thought he boomed him. I thought he hit him with a chest or something. They shot.
You gonna shoot a nigga in front of everybody, nigga.
Nah, fuck that, nigga. You gonna shoot a nigga in front of everybody, you might as well kill him.
Nigga, you gonna get slayed.
Yeah, you gonna get slayed anyway, nigga.
Get slayed though.
Fuck out of here. Durk got 100 gun charges. You saw 20 mug shots. A leg shot to get him life, nigga. Fuck is you talking about? He been in jail 30 times. He just showed us 30 mug shots. He shoot a nigga, he going to jail for 20 years. You might as well kill him. You might get 20 if you cop out. Why the fuck you shoot a nigga in the leg for? Come on, man. Don't justify that because that's your favorite rapper. He didn't do no kids. No. Fuck out of here. Go fuck out of here, that pussy. Nigga him in the leg. I did not know that. I swear to God, I was just, oh shit, Durk my son. He's still up there. He didn't do it. He didn't do it. Relax. He didn't do it. Take it easy on this. Take it easy on here. He did not do it.
Condition.
In a twist of miraculous events, Bro survived after being listed as critical, but not only that, he got to telling detectives what was the rundown and who were the savages that plotted on his life.
Yep.
He about to die too.
You about to die off that leg shot.
But Durk ain't know he was about to die off that leg shot.
That nigga's
Durk ain't mean him about to die off that leg shot.
That nigga's
Durk said, I'm a leg. Durk would have been tight. He died off that leg shot. Like, damn, this nigga died off a fucking leg shot. I should have boomed him for real. You might as well have boomed him. Feel me? I'd have boomed him. I ain't boomed him.
According to him, he was big balling outside the restaurant in the parking lot with his iced out chain and 30 bands that had his pants pocket fighting for dear life. And that was the motive for Durk and Von trying to do him in. Bro claimed that they snatched his chain, gave his pocket some much needed relief, and dipped off in the whip too.
Nigga said gave his pocket some much needed relief. That's crazy.
At this point, Von and Durk are making bank off music, especially Durk, so why would they stoop so low? But that's what Witherspoon said, so hey. What's funny though is that Bro seems to not be an innocent civilian himself. Word got out that he's an alleged vice lord that is known for scamming and wouldn't bust a grape in a food fight. Nonetheless, Durk and Von was about to be in big trouble because the cops were heavy on the scene pulling surveillance footage from businesses in that area that had a view of the situation.
A detective on the stand today said the rapper, who is used to being in front of the cameras, was actually caught on cameras at the Varsity, the BP here, and other businesses that put him at the scene of the crime.
Once they assessed the footage, even more details were made public. According to detectives, surveillance footage shows Durk and him driving off in a dark-colored SUV with his hand out the window, still trying to murk Alexander, even after he was already hit and running for his life.
He gets some points back there. He get a few points back there. Because I only thought from the jump. I thought he shot him out the car from the jump. I never knew he boomed him in front of him. You feel me? So he get a few. Alright, he get his points back. My bad, Durk. I'll give it back. He his. He tried to finish him off. He said, "Nah, fuck that. Spin again. Fuck that. Spin again. Fuck it. Wow, nigga." I thought the whole time. I thought that they got caught over some shit out there.
Nah, you didn't hear her? She said they was talking and then they saw a fight in front of the car.
Yeah, now I heard what they just said now, nigga. I'm talking about when it came out. I never knew that he boomed the nigga in front of him. I thought it was all out the car. I thought he just shot the nigga from out the car and the nigga got shot. I didn't know that they happened like that. Feel me? All the news I kept hearing was they seen him shooting out the car. They seen his tattoos. That's the only shit I kept hearing. You feel? That's why I said, he gonna beat that shit. And he beat it.
And Detective Churchill says several security cameras in the area show Banks and Bennett firing at Witherspoon even after Witherspoon was shot and running away.
Oh, was dubbing too? Them niggas both was dubbing. Nah, squeeze. Rest in peace, Vaughn. Vaughn was aired it too.
The niggas was
they was on demon.
At the scene of the shooting, officers found multiple shell casings, and it was said that there was about 18 bullets found. In May, just about 3 months after the incident, cops couldn't wait to snatch Bro and them up and made their move to arrest Vaughn first. Then Durk was the next target of the attention, and a warrant was put out for his arrest. At the time, Durk was on tour, but after he heard about the warrant, he dipped from touring and began preparations to turn himself in by doing an interview with a news station.
He stepped out in front of the Fulton County Jail. One of his lawyers says he was swiftly taken into custody there, having swiftly flown back to Atlanta.
Yo, you know how that feel though? You got so much money, bro. You could just turn yourself in on a shooting, and then you end up beating it. Bro, nigga never turn themselves in on no fucking shooting. Nigga, is you crazy? Bro, he went in there looking like he didn't do it. You see how he walked in there like head held high? I said, damn, bro. If I know I boomed a nigga, I'll never.
Come get me.
He didn't do it though. Shout out to
out he was wanted.
We found out we had a warrant. Actually on tour. Once I heard, I immediately came back.
He's willing to turn himself in and take care of
Shout out to her sexy ass too.
Durk also dropped off the track, turned myself in, saying he's innocent before facing the long road ahead of him. Him and Vaughn would get the full details on what they were fighting on their first court appearance. The judge found probable cause for an attempted hit, participation in criminal street gang activity, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, and possession of a firearm by a felon. The prosecution finally had their chance to get the evil twins off the streets and was throwing everything they could at Durk and Vaughn. Right down to flying in a Chicago gang unit detective to testify that Durk and them are members of the notorious Black Disciples gang. Vaughn was in there watching Bro like, Your Honor, folks up here capping. If that was the first time hearing about Vaughn and Durk, you'd swear that they was America's most wanted.
Trying to connect the shooting to gang activity, a claim Aurora says has not been proven.
He just told you that both of the experts in this case said no gang connection.
At the end of the court session, it seemed to have worked because the judge gave them the green light to take the case to trial. Things was looking dire for the evil twins and they were held without bond, but their legal team was working overtime. Prosecutors actually wanted to keep him locked up, but the judge came through clutch and rejected the motion, instead granting Durk $250K bond.
Now I know you're from Chicago. I know you probably know gang members, even if you're not in here. This is your freedom at stake. This is your decision to make. And as a side note, the judge that just gave you bond is actually a Packer fan. So,
pause it though. I gotta pause it, yo too. You said what?
David Halpin King Vaughn has been alive.
Shit, who the fuck want to stay in jail? Nigga, shout out to the judge. Shout out to Kevin Farmer, bitch ass cracker. Yeah. Nah, I fuck with my white people, but I don't fuck with no judges, man. But he held it down. He gave them niggas a bond for the shooting. Niggas don't be getting bonds for shootings, nigga. Cause they rappers, my nigga. I'm telling you.
Durk turning himself in and not running was more of a move that worked in his favor, showing that he's not a flight risk. The conditions to stay out on bond was that Durk can't be around a weapon, has to wear an ankle monitor while on 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. curfew, and there cannot be any witness intimidation.
So he got that $250,000 bond conditions. Lil Durk cannot be anywhere near a weapon, not in his car, not in his house. He's also on a curfew that requires him to be at home from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. And, of course, the judge said there can be no witness intimidation.
Durk came out that mug happy as hell, but he had the case ahead of him still.
They gotta bust down the ankle monitor.
Team also came through for Vaughn because he too touched back on the streets with a message for everybody saying that he would stay locked up.
I want to shout out everybody that was on my dog not coming out or something.
Prosecutors did achieve one thing though. They got to separate the evil twins because they couldn't be around each other, so the shows together, the interviews, everything was no more.
Yeah, so me and Durk, man, we don't see each other like at court, if we got court or some shit.
So even when you're on tour, you can't really be around each other too much?
Nah, we can't.
The case went under the radar, and even though they couldn't directly work together, they still supported each other heavy. Durk continued going up, and Vaughn took off with his career as well, right up to the release of the street classic Welcome to O Block on October 2020. Sadly, on November 6, 2020, Vaughn's time in the spotlight would be cut short when his life was lost after an altercation with rapper Quando Rondo in Atlanta. Vaughn was on go time beating the brakes off of bro. Quando's homie Lil Tim creeped around the side of the vehicle and let the hammer blow, hitting Vaughn, who succumbed to his injuries while in surgery. The Evil Twins took a huge loss, and Durk felt every bit of the pain from losing his bro. Now the case was up in the air. RICOs were being thrown left and right on rappers, and it was feared that the case is silent because the feds are dragging it into a RICO case. But Durk pulled through with the Uno reverse and caught the W. On October 2022, news broke that all of the charges were dropped due to prosecutorial discretion, which was a huge surprise to the entire industry. That basically means that they decided that their legal resources were better needed in other cases other than Durk's. The RICO queen herself, Georgia Superior Court of Fulton County District Attorney Bonnie T. Willis, commented on dropping the charges.
But on Saturday, October 22nd, the charges against Durk and the late Vaughn were dropped due to prosecutorial discretion, according to WSB-TV.
While it was a joyous moment for hip-hop and for Durk's fam, many were skeptical how Durk beat the case. Around the same time, T.I. would publicly announce that he put the gun charge on his deceased cousin to get off. That sparked allegations that Durk did the same and pinned the shooting on Vaughn after he passed so he could get off. But there's other...
T.I. really did bad though.
Yeah.
T.I. said, my dead cousin told me to do it. He said he spoke to me when he was dead. Nigga said, do that. Do that. I said, oh, do that. What? I ain't know niggas talk. Dead niggas talk.
You pulled up on like this.
The detective who said surveillance showed Durk busting shots wasn't actually being truthful in that description. What they actually saw was somebody's hand out the window shooting. Never seeing Durk himself, so they couldn't say for sure that it was Durk.
Banks attorneys tried to create doubt that the rapper did any shooting.
You don't see Mr. Banks shooting on the street at any time. The only time you believe he was shooting is when he was in the camouflage Jeep, correct?
That's the only time I can see him shooting.
Not to mention one critical piece of information many don't know about. Alexander, who told the cops it was Durk and them, was arrested in 2021 on charges of mail fraud, aggravated identity theft, and making false statements. He was a habitual scammer, man. Bro used a counterfeit driver's license to finesse a $56,000 Dodge Charger Hellcat. With him being a criminal himself in that capacity, how can his word be trusted as a key witness? He went from that situation to being
Nigga, they probably about to say it. I ain't say he died right away.
One final theory is the most grim and could mean the end for Lil Durk, God forbid. Many doubt the RICO queen is giving up that easily, and that this is just a plot to pass on the case to the feds for them to build a RICO around Durk. He's beating about...
Leave a comment if homie dead. These niggas capping talking about son dead. Son in jail, man. Scamming that
3 gun charges to date, and now his attempted hit charge among others. Maybe he hasn't really beaten him, but was made to believe so.
I fear that 2023 or 2022 is the year that Lil Durk may be involved in some legal shit.
Bro, why would you say that?
I believe that feds.
Why would you say that? So like, comment, subscribe, man. Listen, leave a comment because this nigga academics always fucking the vibe up, man. Police ass nigga, man. Eat a dick, act. Word.